Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? So, according to a recent study, Swedish is a very commonly used language, and I'm going to read that article or at least check it out for this video. Though a recent article on M3 Swedish Prylsalt says that social media might be forbidden or prohibited soon in schools. So let's give it a look. So after Australia is thinking about uh, adding in a 16-year-old, well, age requirement on social media, the Swedish government or the regering is opening up to the laws of our countries. We are following this up very closely, very precisely. We must have a conversation about this in regeringen. We must add how uh, harmful algorithm on these social media platforms by the liberal party leader Johan Persson, uh, well, went with this forward in Aftonbladet, which is non-biased or objective, like Social Democrat newspaper is what Aftonbladet is. If I were to use my English accent or American one, according to Johan Persson, it's about a serious crisis that affects the youth's physical as well as mental health, and the school results are also affected. Exactly how such a prohibition, like prohibiting such a thing, is going to be done is still unclear or uncertain. Uh, but one might have something to do with bank ID and identifying yourself through bank ID and needing to log in through, well, even for adults, it would be added in that case instance. Critics say that there is a risk that age restriction on these platforms like TikTok or Instagram can lead to many searching for other platforms where protection for children and youth is even worse. Okay, so let's start from the beginning and do a crash course. What is social media? Social media is things like Instagram, TikTok. TikTok, quick dopamine releases, fast explanations on, courses on theory or anything at all. That's essentially what social media is. It's kind of a broad term and it can be defined many ways. There's also anti-media, which is less social, but social media tends to not be social. I guess it's a general rule. And the second rule is don't communicate with people who are like posting on your posts, like saying random shit like I believe in the Illuminati. For instance, you make a post about Lego. So you share your Lego, right? For example, I post like an Instagram post about this Lego piece. So I do that, and then I get posts about Illuminati, and it has nothing to do with the post itself. It's completely out of context, but in the thread itself regarding the Lego I just posted, it's still being talked about or discussed. So what is the solution to that? Well, you can ignore it. That's the easy solution. That's the ultra giga chad solution to this. But anyway, back to on topic here. So the Swedish government is thinking about like censoring or at least limiting how you have to log in through social media via bank ID, which can consequently, according to critics, lead to other platforms where there's less protection towards children being used far more commonly or being created. So I feel like that is actually a very strong possibility. That being said, we can also take this look at this from kind of another point of view where maybe there isn't such there's a fundamental good thing about restricting social media from, certain demographic. Like for instance, if not everyone has access to social media, then that might be good for the programs that they follow, like whether that would be school or college or anything like that. Like for example, we say Jimmy wants to go to school, but Jimmy can't go to school because he's getting bullied on these apps. Okay, so what is the solution? Well, if you're looking at it kind of pragmatically, you don't want to ban this social media platform, but what you want to do is you want to restrict it. So maybe in every class, before every class, everyone has to like kind of put their phone away or put it inside of a basket, which is already what they've kind of done as a policy. And then before a test or an exam or before a study session in math, you have to put your phone inside a basket before you start studying math. So I think doing something like that could kind of be a good contra to the bullying or whatever. And then also on the toilets, you cannot use your phone unless you need to make a phone call with someone in your home, and then you need kind of like a license, and then you need your license to show that, yeah, I have a right to use my phone in the toilet, because otherwise you can't use it during the toilet, because being used in toilet can be used for multiple reasons, and that's where it's hidden the most. I think the real problem, the real issue, is how students use it in the toilet or in the bathroom, if you will. Not so much maybe them procrastinating. Well, that is also a problem, that you procrastinate and do worse on their exams because you use your phone so much in social media for all those quick dopamines and whatnot. I think this is kind of a broad issue, and I think we should kind of tackle this from multiple angles. So, to summarize very briefly, what I was getting to is that I think this issue won't be tackled from a one dimensional form of thinking, and we kind of have to see the bigger picture, because it's not going to go away simply because we try to tackle it up front and ignore all the broader kind of broaden ish problems that surrounds it. So that's kind of how I feel about this. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. And if you found this video at least somewhat informative, be sure to leave a like. I guess one more thing before I end this video, though, I would add to the fact that on my last video, when I discussed the Sweden Democrats, I didn't really define their history or what their policies are or anything like that. So for another video, maybe in the future, I might as well be doing that. Another thing before I end this video, um, regarding these apps, I think teachers can, at least on their end and to their credit, they can restrict certain apps from being used. Like I wouldn't say ban them, but I would say like, I guess a key phrase or key takeaway is like have maybe your students review what apps to use, like in their lessons, your English lessons and whatnot, and kind of summarize why they use these apps. I remember doing this back in high school because the teacher required us to do this for one of the assignments that we got. So basically, we would summarize which apps we use and what not, and then we would reflect on the algorithm and what we get in the algorithm and what that kind of how that kind of affects us, or kind of like social, like critical thinking, and what does that mean, like what we get recommended and whatnot. So I think that would also be a kind of a pragmatic way to approach this issue. Anyway, that was all for now. Thank you guys for watching. See you on the next video, and peace.